tomorrow's One Piece episode is going to be huge. Episode 1141 will fully adapt Chapter 1107, titled, I Was Looking for You. The anime episode itself is called Reliable Reinforcements. Dorry and Brogy Arrive. Now, here's the deal. Since I can't show you the actual episode on YouTube because of copyright issues, I've decided to give you a complete breakdown of Chapter 1107. This way, you'll be fully prepared for what's about to go down, and you'll catch every little detail once the episode drops. The chapter kicks off with the giants making their move. Dorry tells Oimo and Kashi to lead the others around the flanks and sink any marine ships they run into, while keeping an eye out for cannon fire. The orders are clear, and the giants split up as the marines launch their counterattack. Meanwhile, Usopp spots Dorry and Brogy through his binoculars, and he's overwhelmed with emotion, tears streaming down his face as he sees his old friends again. Nami notices Oimo and Kashi among the crowd and realizes they must have brought the legendary leaders from Little Garden with them. That's when Usopp finally breathes a sigh of relief, knowing he might see them again in Elbaf after all. Even Edison is shocked that the Straw Hats seem to know these giants personally, and he quickly figures out that they must have learned about the situation from the reports already spreading across the world. Once it sinks in that the giants are here to rescue them, Usopp says it's time to wrap up their preparations for escape. At the same time, Brook contacts Nami, telling her they're closing in on her position. But Lilith, aware they still can't stop moving yet, warns Nami to follow her instructions carefully. Elsewhere, Jinbei is heading straight towards Zoro's location. Zoro is still locked in combat with Lucci, and by now, both of them are completely worn out. Lucci tries to play mind games, telling Zoro that he's a burden holding the crew back, that the Straw Hats won't leave without him, so he should just surrender and let his friends escape. But Zoro isn't buying it. He laughs it off, mocking Lucci for thinking he has the upper hand in this fight. The Marines suddenly report that nearly 30 of their small and mid-sized ships have already been wiped out by the pacifistas. That's when one of the vice admirals, known as the Red King, steps up and orders all smaller vessels to retreat while the battleships move forward and open fire on the pacifistas. He even comments on how tragic it is that they're forced to destroy their own weapons. Back on Egghead, Luffy notices Bonnie crying and asks her why. She tells him she's been searching for him for a long time. Luffy is clearly confused by her words, but instead of pressing the issue, he changes the subject, asking about that punch she threw earlier. Bonnie then makes a request. She wants Luffy to teach her how to throw a real punch, the kind of punch he's landing on Saturn. She reveals to him that Vegapunk has already been badly hurt. That's when Saturn explodes in rage, shouting that neither Luffy nor Bonnie deserves to live. But Luffy flat out rejects his words and charges straight in. Saturn attacks first, but Luffy tanks the hit and slams him with a massive punch that sends the Elder crashing straight through a building. Meanwhile, Frankie tells Bonnie it's time to move. She turns to Vegapunk, begging him to come with them, but Vegapunk refuses. He admits he's in such bad shape that moving now would kill him. Just then, Kizaru reappears, preparing to blast them with his laser, but Sanji intercepts with a fiery kick, blocking the attack head-on. Frankie is blown away by the fact that Sanji could actually stop it, and Sanji simply replies, "That's the power of love." Even Kizaru himself looks stunned. The crew starts pushing toward the northeast side of the island, while Luffy and Sanji stay behind to stall Kizaru. The Admiral coldly remarks that at the very least, he intends to leave this chaos with their heads in his hands. Elsewhere, Saturn suddenly finds his path blocked by none other than Van Alger and Katarina Devon of the Blackbeard Pirates. Devon notes how strange it is to see one of the five elders out here on the front lines. She even touches his leg and casually states that their mission is complete. Saturn, unimpressed, demands to know what they're doing on Egghead and why someone from level 6 of Impel Down would be following another man. Devon replies that Teach is simply special. Saturn actually agrees, commenting on Blackbeard's bloodline, shocking Devon that he knows such details. He presses them further, asking what exactly Blackbeard's crew wants out of this chaos. Alger's response is chillingly simple. We want the world. Saturn moves in to strike, but Alger uses his warp ability to teleport both himself and Devon away. They haven't left Egghead entirely, but they've pulled back for now. And just when things seem to settle, another wildcard appears. Karibu. He approaches them confessing that he deeply reveres Teach and even set out to sea because of him. Karibu practically begs them to let him meet Blackbeard and join his crew.